Welcome back to another episode of the Culture Club. It's great to be back in the office, giving me the chance to link up with my colleagues. So I brought Vikram on today. How you doing, Vikram?
Yeah, good. Excited to be back in the office after lockdown and super happy to be part of Culture Club.
It's great to be back. Vikram is one of our product application resources with a background in design. So I thought it'd be fitting to get him on because we have some applications we want to talk about today. After spending so much time in our home and in our garden working on it, we thought it'd be fitting to feature BEGA's plug and play system, which is really perfect for home garden applications. Now, in a design sense, what features of product and design do you think are really important for your home garden?
Yeah, well, in an ideal home garden scenario, you'd want a combination of accent lighting and general lighting. But essentially, the selection and quantity of garden lighting depends on the size of the garden, the preferences of the homeowner, and also the composition of the garden. That being said, you also want the garden lighting to respond to your activities in and around the garden. For example, if you're having a small barbecue with friends in the garden, you'd want more general lighting on, whereas if you're just having a cup of coffee and looking at your garden from afar, you'd want more accent lighting to softly highlight or wash the foliage or the garden in general. So yeah, I think flexibility and customization are two important factors in terms of garden lighting, and it's something that's so comforting.
Yeah, there's clearly a lot of factors you want to consider. So can you give us sort of a real world example of why or how you can use flexibility in your garden?
Yeah, sure. So flexibility can be a number of things. Could be something as simple as lighting up a tree, which can be done in a number of ways. For example, if it's a rather small tree, you could look to uplight it softly, close to it. That would create a sort of dramatic effect. If it's a rather larger tree, you could look to spike mount some spotlights and wash the foliage as well as the trunk, and making it a sort of focal point or highlight of the garden. You could also have a silhouette effect by using the garden's rear wall, where you're not only highlighting the foliage but creating a nice shadow behind it as well. Or if you want to conceal light source, you can place it behind the tree and create a sort of glow in the tree as well. Yeah, so it's a number of different ways you could get flexibility. Could be something like dimming, could be portability, could be smart controls.
But the problem we face with lighting and trying to move things around is there's a standard in AS3000 that stipulates if you have mains voltage or 240 volt, or actually above 50 volts running to a light fixture, it must be permanently fixed to the ground. So it cannot be portable like a spike light or an on-ground uplight like this, unless there is SELV cabling. This brings us to the BEGA Plug and Play system, which is an SELV system, and it's perfect for these applications. And got a few samples here. This isn't the whole range, there's a bunch more online, but we'll just quickly run you through what we've got. So this is a compact floodlight with a wide beam. They all are supplied with 5 meters of tail, but you can get extension cables as well. Where would you see a product like this being used in the garden?
So something like this could be used for rather larger trees and foliage.
Lastly, this is the Smart Tower. So this is sort of the intelligent control center of the whole system. It has basically a distribution hub as well, so you can have multiple cables coming out of here for multiple fixtures, but it does run on 240 volts because we have the driver stored in here. So because it runs on 240 volts and it is portable, as you can see, you must either fix it permanently to a surface, or it must be stored away in an electrical cupboard or an IP rated enclosure so it can't be accessed. Then you can get what we call smart extenders, so an extender that runs on low voltage, so that can be moved anywhere. We also have here a little controller, which you don't necessarily need. This works wirelessly, so it can turn fittings on and off. It can dim the fittings as well. But the reason why I say you don't necessarily need it is there is an iPhone app as well. The BEGA app, which you can download for free. That almost wraps it up. Any last words, Vikram?
Yeah, so I mean, these products by BEGA are pretty premium in terms of performance, and in terms of flexibility and customization, you can't look further.
They still use their house-made drivers, their house-made LEDs. We still have our 10-year warranty and 20-year supply guarantee and replacement parts for this range. So really, really good for your home gardens. That wraps it up. Thanks for watching another episode of the Culture Club. See you next time.